honey, welcome back. So I've already started priming my eyes. I'm actually using the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Blooming Romance. You thought I was gonna say the neutral, but no. So I have been using these two shades here, Crush and Smitten, just to give myself a little primer, because I'm going to be also using her latest Lightwork, and I've shown this in a couple of videos, so check those out. And I think I will go ahead and use a little mirror here. Now, I'm just kind of on here before I get ready to like wind down and go to bed because I'm really tired. And the reason I'm tired, I'm gonna tell you the story. It's because of Rosé. And I need you to know why I'm not speaking to her right now. We are in a disagreement, in a fight, okay? And I want have an open mind, because I know everybody likes to be on the side of the animal, okay? But I need somebody to validate me right now, so have an open mind while I tell you the story, okay? So we all know Rosé is my cat. I and Rosé have been in a relationship since 2020. Now, I love me some Rosé. Rosé loves me, right? Did I tell y'all her name when I adopted her? Her name was Connie. I was like, girl, within the first couple minutes of meeting her, your name ain't Connie, it's Rosé, okay? With the acento, with the accent mark. Anyway, so this cat has so many different places where she can perch and look out the window or whatever she needs to do. She has the big old glass door in the front. She has her little cat tree that she done destroyed. She destroys one a year. And it's one of the biggest, anyway. Then she has the bay window in the front. It has like the large window here, a mirror. Why I keep saying mirror? A window at the side, a window at the other side. Then she has the window in the main bedroom. And if she really, really wanted to, she had about 2 windows in the basement. So she's fine. She has various places to go ahead and lay herself out and keep an eye on the neighborhood, right? She's our neighborhood watch. So the other day, I'm just laying down, minding my business, getting ready for bed, got my bonnet on, got my nightgown on, brushed my teeth, all that stuff, wash my face, moisturize. I'm just laying down about to, listening to an Audible book, getting ready to go to bed. And Miss Ma'am is at the window, in the main bedroom, right? And she has a little staircase, it's like a little velvety staircase she can use to get up on top, right? Leave me alone, okay? You know you want one. And then all of a sudden, she bolts out the room and down the stairs. You just hear the click, clack, click, clack of her nails or whatever on the wood floor. This is not new to me. She does this all the time because I guess there's like a different view she can get from the top versus the bottom. So I'm like, she just running downstairs to go ahead and look out the window. And it's nighttime now, right? The house is all locked up. The alarm is on, all that stuff. So she can't look out the door. The door is locked up. But she can look out the blinds of the window. So I don't know how long is she down there, because I think she slept downstairs that night, because not only does she have various windows to perch at, she also has various places to sleep. Sometimes she sleeps in a little bed by my bed, but she also has this little setup in one of the little, I like to call them reading chairs. And so sometimes she sleeps there because it's real cozy. And I really feel like she's in her teenage year era, so sometimes she wants her space, okay? So the whole thing is what we do. I think I'll go into one of the deeper shades. I'll probably just play around with these down here in this row. I'm going to have something go, kind of like on the outer V. And what I'm going to do is use the putty first and then set it with the little powder. That's what I learned is like the best to do after using these forever, because the powder kind of gives it more opacity, like you can see the color better, and it helps the longevity of the product. Anyway, so usually the alarm goes off, right? And we have our little routine. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Rosé is gonna, as I walk in the restroom, she goes in and walks out because she has to case the place and make sure everything's okay, right? And first of all, she's not supposed to be in there. That's my bathroom. But somehow or another, she's found her way in there, right? I told you about the time she locked herself up in there. That's what she get. Hold on, let me have some of my kombucha. Okay, excuse me. So I get up, go to the bathroom, and then I go downstairs and I get her food, and I have my coffee and chill. You know what I mean? Just we're waking up with the day, right? Now, she's taken to sitting in front of the door. So there's the regular like brown wood door, and then there's like the storm door, and I got a new one like a while ago, right? It's all glass, because remember the other one, the glass fell out and bought somebody on the head, so I had to replace the door. And it's all glass. I wanted to do that because I think it looks better, and also I wanted to allow Rosé some comfort. She don't have to stand up on her hind legs to look out the door, right? So she's taken to looking out the door, which is fine. You know, she lays there, gets some sun, blah, 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 blah. So usually I'll put her food in her little bowl in her little dining area, and I'll sometimes open the door. Like sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh, okay, she likes to do this, so let me just add this to the routine. So what I noticed is that sometimes I would feed her, and she would like eat so fast, I think in anticipation of sitting in front of the door, and then she might puke a little bit. So I was like, okay, let's alter the schedule, and I will open the door first so she can see the door is open. Okay, whenever you're done, come right back over here. And then she eats her food. She might eat a little bit, run to the door, chill out, come back, eat a little bit, you know, savoring the food. Okay. Now, did I say she has like 12 places to sleep and another 12 to look out the window? She's got a window here. She's got a window in the main room. She's got the bay window in the living room. So one night I'm getting ready for bed, you know, wash my face, brush my teeth, took a shower, took the contacts out. I've got my glasses on. I got my hair in my bonnet all moisturized. I have my nightgown on. I'm ready to lay it down, right? So I go ahead and lay down. And I don't know what Rosé be doing, all right? You figure it out as the day goes on, all right? This is your time. You are old enough. So she doing something, running around downstairs, playing with her toys, blah, blah, blah. And she comes, you know, sauntering upstairs, and she climbs her little velvet steps and gets to the, like, it's like a ledge. It's almost like, yeah, it's all like kind of like bay windows. So she gets there. I have her little blanket there. She got a little toy. Listen, this woman has it made, okay? We all wish to come back in our next lives as Rosé. So she's sitting there. Then she like pops up, and then she bolts out the room and goes downstairs. I'm not studying Rosé. She does this all the time. The girl is crazy, okay? She be following squirrels. She be following that little fast cat that be walking by. That's a stray. She followed the squirrels, everything. You know, she is the neighborhood watch. So she goes down there. I proceed to go to sleep. And I think she slept down there in one of her little cozy spots, you know, living her best life. So I'm like, whatever. So the next morning I wake up, you know, I go downstairs, I open the door, and you can like lock the glass door. It's a heavy door. So I lock it to make sure ain't nobody trying to come in and steal one or both of us, and give her food. So at that point, I'm usually also about to make my coffee, just sit down, have a little raisin toast with a little pat of butter. And so I walk back into the living room from the kitchen. I already put Rosé's food in her dining area. And I look at the window, and the blinds are broken. Because it was like some of those like wood blinds. Now, here's the honest to God truth. I had broken part of the blind before, but it was on the other side. Because I had been trying to kill a wasp. And I may or may not have just bashed several things into the window. Thankfully not breaking it. Okay, so here is the palette. I have it in its original configuration. I think it's like this, yeah. So I probably want to use some of Do I want to use more of the pinkier shades? Maybe I actually want to use the purple. I don't know. This is calling to me for some reason, and so is this. So I think I'll just play around a little bit with some of the shades. This is so smooth. Ooh, look at that, Lord. Okay, and that goes nicely right on top. I think this is one of the satin mattes because it is just so smooth and it blends out very well. Look at that. And this is a palette that they encourage use of the finger. I'm not saying it in a dirty way. Maybe I am. Anyway, so I look and the blinds are broken. And I'm like, when did that happen between me going to bed, going upstairs and going to bed, and me getting up this morning? You know when it happened? At some point when this little girl ran downstairs. That's when it happened, when she was acting a fool running up and down this house. So I look and I'm like, Rosé. She looks up from eating like, yeah? Huh? I was like, did you break this? She goes back to eating her food. Listen, when I tell you like 3 slats were broken, I don't know what this child was doing last night. When, you know, the last night when she broke the things. I don't know what she was doing. And that's probably why she slept her little behind downstairs. Because she knew if I saw, we was going to have a problem. Okay? She was going to have to go to her timeout spot. And yes, she does have a timeout spot. Okay? She was going to have to go to her timeout spot. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out when and how this happened. My conclusion is that she was chasing after some little something and just like bolted to the window and broke the whole daggone thing. So when I tell you, to me, it looked bad. It looked like a drug house. Because it's like half broken. It's not good. And see, the thing is, I usually sit over there when I'm doing teletherapy with my clients, with my patients, whatever. So I'm like, I can't be sitting here with half these blinds broken. How would you feel if your therapist was sitting there half their window stuff broken? Like, I'm gonna need you to get it together, Dr. B. Like, this is not a good look. So I'm like, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get new blinds. So I proceed to like start contacting people, right? Leaving messages and blah, blah, blah. And then a couple people, including Jan, said, girl, you could do it yourself. So I'm like, okay, I did put in the thermostat myself. I've basically built everything up in here. So I can't be waiting for some of these men to help me out, right? So I do the measurements. And when I tell you I do the measurements like 12, 20 times. And I use the real tape measure, whatever it's called, the one you use for building stuff. I don't use the one to use to measure your body. And then I'm like, okay, boom. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Lowe's and I'm going to get the blinds, right? So what I figured out, there's a small window, a large window, a small window. Now, it seemed like the previous owners, they just made it two like big blinds, right? And I didn't realize why until I started trying to do this whole shenanigan. So I was like, well, I want one for the small one for the middle, one for the other small one, right? I was like, that makes more sense to me. This looks pretty. That makes more sense to me, right? So here we go, and I go to Lowe's, and I'm like, well, I want these 3 things. So I'm in Lowe's, and I'm looking, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know what blinds I want. Like, I don't know what blinds to get. So I call G. I text her, call him. I don't know. He's in his office, and I'm like, I don't know what blinds to get. And he's like, okay, well, we'll go tomorrow. And I'm like, bet. Let me go on home and relax. So the next morning, surprisingly, he is like, hey, you ready to go? Like super early. I'm like, oh, we was for real gonna go? I was gonna sleep in a little bit anyway. So we went to Home Depot. Home Depot didn't have what I wanted. And G and the like male workers, they having a little bro moment, okay? Like, oh yeah, I think she measured it. Do you have the measurements? Because originally G was like, did you measure everything? I'm like, okay. I know I get lost all the time. I know I'm a little flighty, but I also have some sense. Yes, sir, I did measure, okay? I don't know why y'all think I can't do something. Anyway, so Home Depot had a variety, but they only had white blinds. Everything was white. They were like, well, if you want a different color, we'll have to order it. It'll take about 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm not sitting with this like that for 2 weeks. And so they were like, do you want the white? G's like, yeah. I'm like, no. I don't want the white ones. I was like, that's going to throw the whole theme of the front room off. So then I'm like, well, let's go to Lowe's. Because I had gone to Lowe's the day before. We were going to Home Depot. And now we're going to Lowe's again. So I go. And we were in separate cars. Because he had to go work, blah, blah. So we both show up. And we're looking for, I forget what it was that he said. I forget. It was probably some sort of inappropriate joke. So we're like in Lowe's laughing. And I find the blinds. I'm like, these are the ones that I want, okay? And he's like, do you have the measurements? Yes, I have the measurements. So I'm like, okay, this is for the big window. This is for the 2 small ones. We get the lady to come and cut the blinds. And then G's like, well, who are you going to have? Who's going to put them up? And I was like, and he was like, well, I'll do it later today. Well, I don't want it later. I want it now. So I was like, I'm going to do it. Famous last words. So I get home, I change into a sports bra and some shorts because I'm like, this is going to be, I'm going to be up climbing stuff. I need to have everything secured down. Child, I tell you, it took me so long to put up these blinds. It was a lot harder than I knew it wasn't going to be easy, okay? But I knew I had the capability, all right? I put up the thermostat. That was with wires and stuff. I didn't electrocute my house electrocute myself nor burn down the house at all one bit. Oh, I didn't mean to use this one. So I'm like, it's going to be hard, but I can do it, you know? Like 36 hours later, they were finally up. And 2 crying spells later. When I tell you, it just, like, so I had to take down the old blinds, right? And then, of course, put up the new ones. But it was like, because I wanted to do 3 separate blinds, and they had only 2 big ones, like, so I took down one of them. So then it's like the left hand small window, you know, there's nothing covering it. And then like half of the big one, there's nothing covering it, right? So I'm like, I have to get at least some of this up, or else the night sky is going to be shining into the house, right? And I'm not okay with that. So I finally, when I tell you, I have a drill from IKEA. So I have that. But the instructions for the blinds, there are no words. It's just pictures. And it's like if Rosé drew them pictures. I don't know how she got into the box and did it. But those pictures, those drawings make absolutely no sense to me. None whatsoever. And I'm like, why are there no words? And also, my eyes are aging, right? Like, apparently, after 40, your eyes just fall out your face. So I'm like, well, I need to get some reading glasses so I can see what the hell this thing is telling me. And when I tell you I couldn't figure it out, I could not figure it out. Because it's just these random pictures and like exclamation points. I'm sorry, what? So then also, I thought I was going to put the blinds in one spot, and it wasn't working. It just wasn't. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move them up. That seemed to be working. But what didn't seem to work very well are the screws that were in packet A. Those screws did not want to go into the wall, right? They just didn't. So that was what initially was making me cry and pray. I was like, please, Lord Jesus, please just let this screw go in, please. Like praying and crying, okay? So finally I get like one, I get the small one up. But then remember, there's still half of the big window that's just, it's dark now. It's night. And the moon is shining bright into the place, right? So I was like, well, I have to do something with that because I can't just have, you know, I don't want the naked window. So we're going to use the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Moisture Repair Balm Serum. Just use this. I just want to put something on. I find myself using this a bit more, especially now that the weather is changing. It's getting cooler. Like when I first got it, I was like, this isn't my favorite thing, but I'm appreciating it for a little bit of moisture as the weather changes. And it's definitely a balm. So it's not going to be super greasy, but I'm also just putting a little bit on. Anyway, so I also get the second one up, and I'm like, see, I'm the kind of person, I just want things done now. If we're going to do it, let's do it and let's be done. Because G has said, I'll do it later. I don't know what later is. What time is later on the watch, on the clock? I don't know. And he funny with time. He says 5 minutes and it's 3 days later. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it myself. I was so broken down. I was so broken down. I was also pissed at Rosé because she is walking around like nothing happened and then just waiting for her food. I was like, I am not speaking to you. I'm gonna give you your food and I don't want you to say nothing to me, because the reason I'm aching and my hand is swollen is because you broke these blinds. You didn't pay to fix them. You didn't pay for nobody to get up here and put them in, so I don't need you to say nothing to me. That's exactly how I was just so, y'all, I can't even explain it. I was like, never again, okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and pay somebody to do it next time. Hopefully there's never again a next time, because I called myself saying, well, if I could put these up, this is when I hadn't tried yet, I'm gonna go ahead and do the bedrooms. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Girl, that was too much, because I bet you if somebody had come to do them, it would have took them like 30, 45 minutes, not 36 hours. So my body's all broken. I was coming up the stairs like, oh. Like if I don't age 30 years. My hand was all swollen and sensitive, like to the touch. It still hurt a little bit. But I got them up, and maybe I'll put in a picture because they look beautiful. They look wonderful. Like, hire me. I'll send you my fees. It's going to be exorbitant because that just took a lot of my spirit. So now I'm exhausted, okay? That was it was like a day and a half of building a house and then another half a day of trying to rest, but I couldn't even really rest real well because, again, Rosé was up to some shenanigans. I really feel like she's migrated from the terrible twos to like full-blown little badass adolescent. So whose side are you on? You know what? I already know what y'all gonna say, but I need somebody to be on my side because I was really playing Bobby the Builder over here, and I didn't have to, but for this cat breaking up the house. So here's the finished look, and as a reminder, I used the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Blooming Romance palette. I'm really wondering if she's going to come out with more of these Groundworks. And I paired it with some shades from the newest Lightwork. Alright, the Freedom palette. So I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I would ask you who you think is right, but I feel like nobody's going to be on my side. So, anyways, I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.